So, overall 2 and 3, I would say that the thought experiment did not pan out, although we were 2 and 1 at one point. 2 of the losses came at the hands of Marvel, one of them at Mardu. We handily defeated Black-Green and I want to say another Mardu deck, but I don't know. I don't remember. So lessons to take away. Smoldering Marsh, as always, is pretty bad. And the mana is good enough that you don't need to play every single dual lane that you possibly can. I'm way more concerned with velocity and just making sure that, you know, my land's ETB untapped and whatnot. So I would definitely let go of a Smoldering Marsh in the main deck. I do think that it is the correct land to play in the sideboard, but I would probably swap a mountain with a marsh, or marsh with a mountain rather. Sideboard could be a little bit better. I think that Byforce is actually good against Marvel because they have such a high whiff rate, but like if you let them just continually have Marvel in play, eventually you're going to lose to Ulamog, right? And Byforce also lets you catch a bunch of like puzzle knots up in that, like pretty much on the cheap. So yeah, I think Byforce should actually just get sided in the Marvel matchup, but I also think that Dispossess is probably not worth it, even though Marvel is like the card that you definitely want to stop, and Dispossess kind of gets rid of all of them. I thought like 3 might be okay, but there are enough reasonable hands that I think you keep where you don't aggressively mulligan for Dispossess. It's just like good if you have it. But to that end, I think I'd rather just have 4 of something like Transgress the Mind instead. Faith of the Devoted did not get a chance to shine really, and I don't know. Game 1 against the first Marvel deck, I beat them basically straight up because of it, because we went long and they had more creatures in their deck, so my removal was live, and eventually I just, you know, drained them out. It was really good against Black-Green Delirium, but could just be a sideboard card too, where it's like, you know, that's the grindy threat that you want. But I don't know what you do with the main deck, like maybe play another Reveler or something. And then past that, I don't know. You know, like how many more threats am I supposed to have in this deck? How much more velocity am I supposed to have? I'm really not sure. But yeah, Faith could just be too slow of a main deck card. Maybe it's just better as a sideboard card. Byforce should come in against Marvel. Sweltering Sun should be Magma Sprays. Chandra could potentially be anything else, and Dispossess could be Transgress. You don't need the Scarab Feast, so also if there's just like a 1, 2, maybe 3 mana clock that you could bring in against things like Marvel, I think that would help a lot. So yeah, I'll be looking for one of those, see if there's anything that would actually be like kind of a powerful, good fit. Maybe it's something like Harsh Mentor, even though that card's not great, and like every time they activate Marvel they take 2, right? But like that's not super powerful, not super impressive. So I don't know. I assume the threat is going to be red. So like let's just search for red. Glorybringer's a little slow. Hanwar Garrison could do it actually. Lathnu Hellion have no energy. This thing probably just dies or gets blocked. I don't have a lot of red cards on this account, but you get the point. Like, there are probably cards. You should do some homework. Hazoret could be good, potentially. I could see that. I could see maybe 6 mana Chandra. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, 2 and 2 is not the best outing for the deck, but I think the way that my deck was configured and the way that I sideboarded, like, I basically could not beat the Marvel decks, and if I fix that a little bit, who knows? Maybe even next time we could be 3 and 2. But yeah, you know, as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to check out more content like this by either myself or my fellow authors, feel free to check out Star City Games' YouTube page, where they have a bunch of videos like this and a lot of other cool stuff too. So, Pro Tour, not this weekend, but next weekend, and I will be there. I will be out of town, so no more videos until after the PT, but hopefully that tournament leads to a bunch of sweet decks being in the format, and hopefully it's not just like a bunch of Mardu mirrors and stuff, and I have faith that it's not going to be that way, and I have faith certainly that a lot of cool decks are going to come out of the Pro Tour, so should be an exciting time, and I can't wait until then. So I will see y'all in a couple weeks.